I left off on part 1. Part 1 was pretty good. I figured out what Deku's quirk's gonna be. It's gonna be called Perfect Combat. Perfect Combat gives him the ability of a perfect arsenal to beat somebody. Enhanced reaction speed, slow down perception of time, which this is combined into one quirk. That's how Kurogiri's quirk was made. I'm pretty sure something like that. Enhanced strength, enhanced speed, enhanced durability. What else? Mimicry lets him learn their combat style instantly, which would increase his combat style in the process. And also regen. Strong enough regen to, not too strong, but strong enough to heal him up from scrapes and scratches and stuff. And what else did I want? Slow perception, mimic, high durability, high stamina also. And oh yeah, perfect target. Gives him the ability to target weaknesses from any object or non-living, organic, or anything like that. If there's a rock and he uses target or his quirk altogether, he can pretty much figure out the weak point of the rock and he can flick it and it'll completely shatter, or how way the weak point would work. So yeah. So Deku would be told that you get to name this all for one would say it's perfect for combat and all that. So Deku would say we should just call this what should it be called? Oh yeah, perfect combat. That's what Deku is saying right now. And he says that should fit perfectly. And he says, so I can't use my flying anymore. He says, don't get caught. That would look like too many abilities and all that. But slow down perception also gives him the ability to see seconds into the future, kind of like the Sharingan, where he can predict stuff perfectly. Oh yeah, perfect prediction in combat. That's what. So yeah. Deku would go to the UA, to the entrance exam. He wouldn't get a recommendation. Yeah, so he would running, and he would punch some stuff, seeing his increased strength. It would be enough to destroy the robots and send them back quite a bit, and all that. But Deku doesn't like to see people that are not worthy to be slain by him or something like that to get hurt, because he still has a pride of a hero still inside of him somewhere. So whenever he sees a rock about to get dropped or about to get crushed, he would fly up or he would jump up, and he would boost his punches or his jumps with heat to boost him up quite a bit more, and he would punch the robot, and with that punch he would hide a heat punch with it, which will be his like wind pressure punch, pretty much breaking it. He would be falling down. He says, I can't just stop in midair. And he says, I just showed off some kind of wind ability, right? Or wind shockwave. He would punch, send a heat, and it would hit him and make him flow up. With this, Deku would be just up there. So, this is whenever Deku would be just there, and he would be the one to destroy the 0-pointer, get the rescue points and villain points, which he had 120 of, 80 rescue points, so 200 points in total. In first place, then he would go to. So he would go to UA after reporting to Overhaul that he passed and all that. And they say, so they don't believe you're a villain. He would say that I even saved someone for extra measure. And him hearing this, so you saved a future hero, a Halo killer would do that. Deku would have said that, I don't kill heroes just because I can. I kill them if they're fake heroes and they do more harm than good and causes people to die. And I don't just let people die for nothing. So yeah. So Deku would walk off, telling him he's going to sleep. He would. And he remembers, oh yeah, I'll just go work out and wait till the letter would come. I'll say they made him put like a different address where they can just go there and pick up the mail and all that. And that would be Deku's living space. Getting it, accepting him into UA. So while in UA, Deku would go in, seeing Bakugo being yelled at by Ida. Ida's noticing Deku. And Ida didn't really talk to him rudely, as he says. And no, yeah, Bakugo never knew Deku. And never knew, Izuku and all that, so yeah. And yeah, so he has no connections to Inko either to know who he is. So Deku would be there, and he would just walk in and go to a seat with Uraraka thanking him. He would put on a fake smile, saying no problem, and Uraraka either walk up to him, congratulate him for knowing that there's hitting prizes and all that. He would say, I didn't really know anything about that. I just did what I would do. Making Ida say, oh yeah, that's what heroes are supposed to do, right? Ho 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 ho. Aizawa would walk in, and they would tell about the fitness exam. And Deku saying okay, and they would walk outside. Deku would be told to throw the ball without his quirk. He would, which would go not super far, but far for a normal person, like athletic abilities. And now he says do it with his quirk. Deku would have used his quirk and activated it. Grabbed the ball, put heat into his hands, and he would throw it with a spiral of heat, spinning it and shooting it farther, going about 2,000 meters. That would be the highest because Momo would go 1,800, but Deku would win by 2,000 or 200 meters. So yeah. People were asking about people's quirks no. So it's the next day, and now it's the battles. Deku, Uraraka, Bakugo, and Todoroki. So, All Might has not given his quirk to anybody, and he's scouting out people that he should give it to. He sees Deku, but he says that he seems to have already a strength quirk. It wouldn't be obvious that somebody gave him a quirk, just saying that he upgraded his enhancement quirk. But he doesn't know. He thinks about Bakugo. Bakugo has a high temper, but he does want to become a hero. Todoroki, he is number 2 in Endeavor's, but Endeavor has no link to enhancement quirks, and that would get people suspicious and all that. And his personality doesn't fit. He would think about everybody else. And the only 2 candidates that would fit perfectly would be Deku and Kurashima. Or, Lemillion, that dude right there, would be one. Mirio, so yeah. Because Deku's playing on the act, and him and Uraraka would be on the team, and they would say, let's do our best. And Deku, she would ask what Deku's quirk exactly is, and she would say, is it enhancement? Deku would say yes. And let me explain, his enhancement is not as strong to throw wind pressures, it's using his heat quirk to do that. He's just shooting heat. But yeah, so he would say, my quirk, I call it perfect combat, because it gives me a mixture of different abilities that are all useful for combat. Pretty much all enhanced stats and durability, strength, speed, and all that. And, of course, some enhanced... Oh yeah, it also gives me slowed down vision, prediction abilities, and target lets me point out people's exact weaknesses, and mimicry he also calls it, which gives me a high ability to copy people's movements. After she hears all this, she would be impressed by how many abilities are in this one quirk. So she would say, let's do our best, go and get in. Bakugo would still be hothead and he would be angry that he gets second, and he would say he must have cheated. So he would get down there, busting through the wall. Deku already seen this in slow-mo. Bakugo would be charging, Deku sidestepping him, grabbing by the wrist, flipping him. This is whenever it would show that hitting him in the shoulder or his elbow could hurt him a lot. Deku would, of course, need him in the elbow, hurting him, making him hurt his arm every time he uses explosion. Deku would charge at him, punching him in the nose, breaking it. And then Deku would target his kidney and would punch him right there. And then take him by the head and foot, or would grab him with his legs and would roll over, slamming him into the ground, making him lose his breath and knocked out. After that, people would see how Deku just kind of used technique to take him all the way down, and Deku and Uraraka would go up with Deku saying, don't you have a gravity quirk, and he would take the tape that they have, or what Deku has, and tape rocks together into like strings and all that, and she would be told to float these all into his room while he's distracted. But as soon as he looks up from not being distracted, he would see a whole bunch of string, tape everywhere. Like, there's a lot of rocks, is what I'm telling you. Enough to cover the whole room and barely see people. Because Deku is destroying other rocks. Or he would go outside and he would dig up the ground and bring it in. But yeah, Deku would be dashing through this. And these things don't completely hit the floor, so to not give away his location or to trick him, Deku would grab a string and dash a rock through the field, swinging it at him, hitting him, but he can't do too much damage just because it is zero gravity. Deku would be running and sliding underneath till he would get up there with him, grabbing the rock that he would grab a rock and he would also Uraka can target which rock she can let loose. And if she sees Deku pull it down, she would let loose of it. And Deku would take this rock and smash Ida's armor near his neck, which would break. Then he would take this again and he would smash right where his side of his body is. He's practically taking off the ends of the pieces where they're weakest instead of hitting like the middle of chest plate and all that. With Ida seeing that he's breaking his stuff again, Ida would try to kick him with Deku dodging, of course, and he would take his rock smashing like the top of his leg or like the side of his chest armor on the bottom and on the leg, and Deku would took the rock and would have smashed into his side, breaking some bones down there, and that would take down Ida in pain. Deku would throw his rock and would touch the bomb. Uraraka would say, "Hurry up and take the bomb out because I'm about to hurl." He would just leave Ida with Ida getting hit by a whole bunch of rocks. With her saying, "Oh yeah, I forgot about Ida," Deku would say, as she does it, and he would be like, "Oh no, we must get him up." But she did that on purpose, and he acted like he was just about to tell her. So yeah, this route and this part off. See you on the next one. Goodbye.